Friends, family, fans, we're live for another episode of Back Nine Bets, episode 122. Escaping from ALCATRAZ with a win. Because par 3 on the stadium course, signature par 3, kind of like the island green that they have at TPC Sawgrass, it's called ALCATRAZ. And we're going to escape from that with the winner this week. Because last week, it was super freaking close. Couldn't quite get it done with Nico. Apparently, you want to be 60 yards from the green for your third instead of being putting for eagle in order to win a playoff hole, Nico. So get it together there, my friend. We're going to go over our recap from last week, kind of go along with where we're going. Congrats to Justin JD, my man. Hit the link in the description for the Discord below. Get into my Discord for a month. I appreciate you for commenting who's going to finish DFL, dead freaking last, this week. So go ahead and do it again for the AMEX. Who's going to finish stone last this week? So it was Kensei Hirata or Alex Smalley as the two deciding votes, and it was Kensei by a small amount. So go ahead, let me know who's going to finish dead last this week, and you can win a free month to my Patreon/Discord, where all my tools are in, where I share all my picks, where it's a fun freaking time. I've had a blast with all the people in the Discord just hanging out with me. So that link is in the description below as well. We are going to hit an outright this week, Tyler. I totally agree with you. Anthony says hi as such a polite person. Always saying hi. I appreciate it. And Joanne, by the way, we'll give away Joanne's package since she's just a picking queen, but doesn't ever want to kind of get involved with what we give away. So she wins all these contests, but doesn't ever get it going. So we appreciate you. Oh, Joanne does want the link. Okay, Joanne, link in the description below, baby. Go for it. Let's go. I appreciate you. Wow, look at us go. All right. And also, look at this beautiful shirt. Sweet Spot DFS. My main man, Darbo, over at Sweet Spot. He usually goes live after me. So we are rocking and rolling an amazing shirt. And let's get into it. It's the AMEX. It's a weird week. I have a lot to chat to you guys about. Let's get this off of here and hide this and take a look here. So this is the tool. This sheet is basically everything you could wish for over in my Patreon. And last week we lost about 2.37 units. So 2.5 unit loss. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some, but we're grinding away. But it's always good to see that we're profiting in the matchup market. Well, we kind of netted out there, but the in-tournament matchups were good for us, and our top 40 bets were good for us. Taylor Pendrith was a big leverage situation. We had him at minus 160 for a top 40, and he finished T46 after going bogey, par on the par 5 to end. So basically, he gave away 3 strokes in the final 3. We had him for a top 20 and a top 10 that we added live as well. So he kind of let us down a little bit. We almost had our outrights. We only had a few each ways. I think it was only on one person, so that was disgusting by me, an oversight of drastic proportions. We've got each ways again this week, top 5s to match up, whatever we need to do so that when someone finishes second, which they freaking do for us all the goddamn time, we can profit. Didn't do that last week. It would have pretty much netted us an even week, but such is life. Off we go. Top 20 bets. Kevin Roy, we added live. Keith Mitchell couldn't quite get it done. He was T30. Stay tuned for him. We'll have another bet on that guy. And you can see for the Amex what I've done. I've got all my bets and my exposures going on. We've bet 7 total units so far this week. So not that crazy. We've got a lot going on, but for minimal exposure. We've got a lot of high-end bets, like plus money bets. Boy, oh boy, are we going to get into it. And then if you go over here, you can see everything that I've bet. So this is where you can see it all. We've got round 1 showdown. We've got my Maniac model. You can kind of go in here, see everything as we go along. I've got all my stuff. This is what we use to make our bets. We'll use this tool all show long. The placement tools where we kind of go ahead and make our placement bets. The Maniac matchup tools where we're going to be making our Bet 105 matchup bets. We've got it all. If we want to deep dive some rookies, yeah, we've got them going. So we can figure out who's playing this week in the rookie side of things. A lot of them are. I've got rookie stats from the DP, from the Corn Ferry, everything you could wish for right over here for you. Birdies, bogeys, 3-putt avoidance, scrambling, blah, 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 blah. all sorts of stuff for you. Then we've got 3 different courses. I've got the Stadium course. I've got La Quinta. I've got the Nicholas course for you. All rocking and rolling. It's going to be included in the round 1 showdown. Depending on where the guys start, I'm going to pull in their course history for that specific course. These courses are different. We can chat about the showdown towards the end of the show. It's important. This week sucks, but if you like to make money, this is the freaking week to go, baby. This is the freaking week to go. And sites, yes, I will be doing a version of Breaking 100 now that I'm no longer with the old company there. I'm on my own, so hit that Patreon link below. Support your guy. I would appreciate that very much. You get all of the stuff I showed you. But I will be doing a newsletter, which will be Breaking 100. It will be a Breaking 100 newsletter. So I'll send that out on Wednesdays. Sign up for that bad boy, and it's yours for free in your inbox. So I would really appreciate you guys do that when I do get it out. I've still got that to go and rocking and rolling. Shout out to Byron. 3-ball picks were on point last week. The farewell fiver had us profiting, but we're going to change that up a bit going forward too. I don't like the three-leg parlays. I prefer to just do the 4-legger and then maybe just individually bet each guy so that if we hit 2 of the 4, we're still profiting because Kevin Roy was like plus 260 and we cashed his leg and then our plus 140 leg let us down. So we got to figure it out. But the farewell fiver has been cooking to start the year. We're rocking and rolling. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. So let's get into it. Let's freaking get into it. And as always, you can get this. This model is yours if you grab it in the Discord and Patreon, but I'm going to just use Excel because it's broken on me. So that's fun. I guess I'm just going to use this one then because this one's all good. So we're going to rock and roll, show you exactly how to use this tool. At the end of the show as well, I'll go through everything. I know some people have asked me to describe what I all have available. I'll go even in depth more about how to use all these tools, etc., etc. So I do appreciate every single one of you that's showing up here. I know that the TGL is on, but hey, you guys think I'm more important, or just put them in the background. That's what I did. Oh, beautiful. So you did the right way. Let's keep doing that, and we're rocking and rolling. All right, so we're going to filter by upside rankings because that's where we're going to be going with our bets. And first bet up, we're going to go with Sam Burns, plus 180 for a top 10. Ties paid in full. TPIF, ties paid in full. You want ties to be paid in full because if your guy gets in a tie for 20th with 3 or 4 other people, you just get that payout slashed. At some points, there's been such egregious ties that you lose money on your bet. So you want to try and nail the ties paid in full. There's a rule of thumb I use for that, but I'm not going to try and explain it. It can break your brain. I mentioned on the Fantasy Golf Degenerate show. So Sam Burns, he is the ultimate top 10 guy, top 20 guy. I have a tool coming as well that's got some sick-ass graphics that kind of shows you the bar charts for these metrics that we're going to be going off of here. Sam Burns, if you've bet to return $100 every single tournament he's played in the last 12 months, your top 10 markets returned you $482, $492 in the top 20 market. But funnily enough, he just can't figure out the top 5s. He's lost you $18 there. And you can see it in the numbers here. He finishes inside the top 5 about 19% of the time, but finishes inside the top 10 45% of the time. And that's where we want to be going. Just keep mashing that top 10 number. It is plus 180, ties paid in full for a guy that really, really knows what he's getting up to. So just to kind of explain that, a Sam Burns top 10 bet, it was plus 145. It's gone backwards to plus 180. So that's a 15% edge now. So what it kind of describes here is Sam Burns finishes inside the top 10, like we said, 44% of the time. What the odds imply at plus 180, that it only happens 36% of the time. So we love that. It gives us a raw edge over there of about 8%. And then we also know that Sam Burns is our number 1 guy in the model. So we're modeling him out well. So he gets some more percentages for that. Takes a look at his recent form, his course history here, encourages that into the edge calculation. And boom, Bob's your uncle. We got a 15% edge for the top 10 bet at plus 180. So that's our first bet. Sam Burns plus 180, top 10. Ties paid in full, baby. I think FanDuel's got plus 200 for a full payout without ties paid in full. just do the plus 180, get your ties paid in full. I beg of you. That's the way you want to be rocking and rolling. Jack asking, what have you got on Brandon Thornberry? The Racing Post in the UK has tipped him up for an each way. Woo, we can take a deep dive. Remind me at the end of the show, we'll deep dive Brandon Thornberry. And we got Satya. How do you know which books offer ties paid in full? BetMGM, Bet365. They always have ties paid in full. And I would say DraftKings now also offers ties paid in full. FanDuel seems like they're doing it every now and then. They kind of do what they want. So BetMGM, Bet365, DraftKings for sure have ties paid in full. And then sometimes FanDuel has that. So be sure that you see ties paid in full because they can mislead you a few times. But it's important, very important. So next up on our board, we've got a Max Griman. Top 5 and an outright bet. I posted it in the Discord. It was 40-1. I totally forgot to make the bet. I check a look later. It's 37-1. So the joys of being in the Discord is that you do, even though we don't hit these bets outright as much as we freaking should, you're still getting the best odds because it typically, my lines shorten on the bets I make. So I'm usually on the right side of things. We just can't freaking figure them out. So Griman has been phenomenal. If we take a look at what he's been up to the last little while, second in the model. This guy's been a top 5 juggernaut, so we will be betting him top 5 as well at plus 600 to win 2 Unetos because it's a big-ass edge, if I believe so. We're going to take a look. Yeah, 21%. So I should have changed this to a betting it to win 2 units. I will do that right now. So we want to go after Max Griman, who's been in great form. If we take a look at his recent trends, going over all the way to the end of the model over here, Max Griman he finished 56th year at the AMEX last year. He wasn't the guy he is now. Take a look at this run since the Wyndham. Second at the Wyndham, 33rd at the FedEx St. Jude, second at the Zozo, 24th at the TOC this year, and then like another second place finish, is his best finish recently. So we know that there's a slew of second places leading up to this even. So we've got some really important things to kind of take a look at. Griezmann's been in exceptional form, and I love where his situation is right now. He's been gaining the second most total strokes in this field, and he's been doing it with the putter. That's his magic stick. He's not the best iron player in the world. He's a decent driver of the golf ball, got tons of distance, but we're really looking for good putters this week. Sam Burns, number 1 in the model, great putter, 7th in the field. Max Griman, number 1 putter in the field. So he gets it done with the putter on a routine basis, and he's very goddamn good at making those putts. So we're going to be needing that as much as we can this week, and he brings it to the party. So we are going with the Grease Trap at 37-1. We're also going for him top 5 plus 600 ties paid in full to win 2 units. So if we take a look at his situation with the placement tool, Griman, if you take a look at his top 5 metrics, plus 600 implies a 14% probability. Over the last 12 months, this guy's finishing inside the top 5, 3 out of every 10 starts. So that's not 1.5 of every 10, it's 3 of every 10. It's almost double. So we've got a 21% edge on the Grease Trap for a top 5. So looking to go to him in a big way. We're going to win our 2 units over there. I see that I'm buffering. I will just take a Bruce moment here and read the chat. Commentating Nerd, one of the Discord members in the house. What's going on, brother? Let's go with the Sam Burns love for sure. We got some people asking about Jesper Svensson for GPP. So we've got Svensson, and who the heck else did we want to look at? Brandon Thornberry. I need you guys to remind me that at the end. We got Griman love going on. We got some Max love again. Nothing wrong with this. This guy's a baller. He's a baller shot caller. I mean, we're still getting decent odds. He's going to win a tournament soon. I mean, he is flirting with the top of the leaderboard, and his odds haven't got into the 20s yet. So we're really enjoying that from the Grease Man. I'm a big fan of him, like you are there too, Tyler. So let's go after Max Griman, top 5, plus 600, and to win this thing at 37-1. Boom chakalaka. Hit that like button, subscribe to Mayo Media, and while you're subscribing after the show, go check out my Back 9 bets. I will start doing some Sunday night research streams after these tournaments because now it's back to continental time. It's It's not going to be having to start these things at 9 o'clock at night. Maybe with these AMEX events, maybe we will. But it is what it is. So scooting along down. We didn't really like anything that had to do with Patrick Cantley. The placement tool wasn't a fan. It just didn't really pump out anything worthy of going to. Basically, how I use this placement tool is if there's a 10% edge, I'll bet to win 1 unit. If there's a 20% edge, we're betting to win 2. And if there's a 30% edge, you'll bet to win 3. So there's a lot of love going on. As you can see, there's tons of green going on here on Mackenzie Hughes' side. It's not just a weird fetish I have. The model's actually telling me some stuff. So we'll get to him shortly. But first up, we've got some other placement bets that we want to make. We've got a placement bet on a guy by the name of Wam Clark to finish top 10 at plus 300. A plus 300 bet says that Wam Clark finishes inside the top. Oh, that's moved back from plus 280. So finishing inside the top 10 at plus 300 implies a 25% probability. We know Wam Clark does that at a 32% clip. So we've got about a 7% edge on our own right over there, which is good to see. And then we take a look at Wam Clark in the model. He's 4th in the model for upside, which includes top 5s and top 10s. As you can see here, he is a solid top 10 finisher. Finishes inside the top 10 about 32% of the time. So basically 1 in every 3 starts, this guy's inside the top 10. He drastically falls off to the top 40 range. 55% clip for the top 40, and he's in a lot of those signature events as well. That's not where you want to be betting him. He doesn't provide you with safety. I mean, look at the safety ranking here. It's 12th compared to his 4th ranking for upside. Safety includes top 40s, top 20s, and safer metrics, whereas his upside is all about it. So that's where you want to be betting this dude. He's returned you $137 in that market, betting to win 100 every single time. Let's take a look and see if Wam Clark's a good putter or not. He's not terrible. 36th in the field putting, 20th in the field in short game. Data Golf has him ranked as the 6th best option. So the iron play's been a little splotchy the last little while, but this guy can ball out. We know what he can do. 24th in the field in recent strokes gained. It is what it is. We just know that when he fires, he fires. Those strokes gained metrics are getting skewed when he's falling way outside the top 40. If he hits the top 10, he hits the top 10. If he finishes 30th, we don't really care because we all care about just optimizing his betting value, which is that top 10 market. So we are a big fan of Wam Clark this week. If we take a look at what he's been up to most recently, we've got some stuff going on for him too. There's a Wam Clark top 15 at the Tournament of Champions. We almost had that last week. He hit one OB, I think, into the bushes on that 14th hole, I think, multiple times. 7th at the St. Jude was his most recent finish. And then in 2022, he finished 13th here. He hasn't typically done the best at this golf course, but I think we can expect some love from him. And again, look at all these finishes. They're like bordering top 40 or top 20. Like, it's just, there's no like consistency with this dude. So it's all over the place, but we're kind of going to him as we go along. Be on the lookout for him towards the ender part of the showdown slates because he typically fires up a little slowly. He'll get there eventually, but not quite as much as we want early on. The chat. Throw Schmidt and Peterson into the deep dive list as well. Jesus, I'm going to have to take some notes here. In fact, I might just. Let's do this. I'm just going to go ahead here. We're going to go what? Schmidt, Peterson. We've got Thornberry. And we've got, who the heck, Jesper. Okay, cool. I will remember those for you guys. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll try to get connected to the Discord a little later tonight. Beautiful, sis. You let me know. We'll have to let you in, but I will be on the lookout for you. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And we were going to add Lanto Griffin to the freaking... Wow, we're going deep diving on lots of random names here. I love it. You guys are a bunch of sickos. Cool bananas. Let's get back to our bets so we can deep dive these sons of guns here in a little bit. Moving along down the board. Let's just get to Mackenzie Hughes. I am all in on this guy this week. I'm very, very excited. We've got him at plus 110 to 1 to win this tournament. He's 7th in upside in this field. He's finished inside the top 5 in 15% of his starts and rattling off a top 10 rate in 1 in every 3 starts. He's 110 to 1 to win this tournament. He is the 6th best putter in the field with the 4th best short game. I understand the ball striking numbers are ass. They went really bad last week at the Sony. 2 bad rounds. This dude has been balling the hell out. 4 of his last 6 starts worldwide have been top 8s. And he's 110-1. He almost won the RSM. He gained the most total strokes at the RSM, by the way, and didn't win the tournament because of the wave discrepancy. He went off and played the seaside course in the most difficult conditions. Everyone playing Plantation landed up at the top of the board along with Mackenzie. We were on him to win that tournament. He gained the most total strokes. Somehow we don't win the winning ticket. What on earth is that about? But we're back on our boy Mac. The Mac attack is back. We're going a full ladder with this guy. A full freaking ladder. Mackenzie Hughes to win this tournament, 110-1. Mackenzie Hughes for a top 5, 22-1. On FanDuel, no ties paid in full. We're taking a gamble. It goes all the way down to like plus 16-1 if you're getting ties paid in full. So we're going to take our chances with this, 22-1 for a top 5. We're going to go to plus 750, ties paid in full, to win 2 units for a top 10. And then we're going to go plus 350 to win another unit for a top 20. So we've got Mackenzie Hughes, 110-1 to win this tournament. Top 5 at 22-1. Top 10 at plus 750 to win 2 units. And a top 20 at plus 350. Ties paid in full for both of those last ones. We're all about this dude. He's been in incredible form. If we check the Maniac placement tool, like this guy, look at these implied probabilities for him. We've got 5% top 5 implied probability and 11% top 10 implied probability. He's finishing inside the top 10, 1 in every 3 starts. So it's like, what are we really doing with this? I don't understand these numbers. It is green, green, green across the board for this guy, for me. I don't understand. I don't get it. So we're just going to keep going to this, and hopefully, last week was a blimp on the radar. Some bad golf in Hawaii. It is what it is. He's not going to be tired. He likely got back sooner than he had anticipated. He's back in California now. Go make those putts, baby. Go make those putts. Be one of the best putters in the world this week. Go win this tournament, or if anything, just finish top 5 for us. We'll be making big cheese. If we take a look at the bet tracker, we've bet all this stuff on him, but we really don't have that much exposure. This is how many units we are betting on Mackenzie Hughes. For the 4 bets we have, we're only placing 0.17 units. Sorry, 0.7 units on Mackenzie. There's other bets like Justin Lowe at top 40. We're betting 1.3 units. So we're not that overly exposed to him because these odds are so ridiculous. Like, I honestly believe that Mackenzie Hughes should probably be closer to like 60-1, 50, 40-1. I would be going there all the time. So that's what we're going to be looking at to take down these books this week. Mackenzie Hughes can win us a bunch of units at very low exposure, even if he doesn't win this tournament. So that's kind of how we're going about it this week, attacking him in a big way. Moving on to our next bet. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe, check out my Sweet Spot DFS t-shirt. Go check him out after this show. Farker now showing up and having a good time. What kind of odds are you guys getting for Matteo Manacero? He's got to be in your combos. What do you mean by odds? Is that even how you spell Manacero? Who the heck knows? Moving along. Explain to me what you mean. Also, I saw your comment on my show last week. I appreciate every single one of you. Before we actually do that, my show last week, I kind of explained to you guys my situation with my mental health. I'm under control. Everything's good. I figured it would just be a good time to explain that, I got onto the antidepressants and life has been great. It was okay. Prior to that, it just went a little up and down here and there, but a lot of great support from you guys. Go check out the last couple minutes of my show from last week. I really appreciate you guys for just reaching out and saying thank you for saying that and that you've got my back. I want you guys to go and get the people's back in your lives who you've got direct contact with that might have the same situation. Help them as much as you can. It's up to us to find these people and help them, because sometimes you can't help yourself without someone telling you that you need help. So that's my quick little spiel on that. I appreciate every single one of you that reached out to me. You guys are freaking rock stars. Back to our regular paid programming over here. We're going to be going to Davis Thompson. DT. This dude is a smooth killer. Obviously watched him win live at the John Deere Classic, the People's Major of the Midwest. Was sensational. Made every putt under the sun. This guy's ball striking has been sensational the last little while. If you take a look at his ball striking, we're 14th in the field, despite having not necessarily been the greatest on the greens the last little while, 103rd. But guess what? We are returning back to a venue where we've had great success. He finished second here to John Rahm back 2 years ago. He's a par 5 obliterator, and he does that at this golf course sensationally well. So he's 50-1 to win this tournament. And then if you go over to Bet Rivers, they got a 9-1 top 10. A top 10. Like usually when a book pays out each ways, they'll take it, and if it's 6 places at Bet Rivers, they'll slice it by a fifth for 6 places. If you're getting 5 places, they'll cut it by 4. So if you cut this bet by 5, you're getting it to 10-1, but that's for 6 places. We're getting 9-1 for a top 10. So we're getting additional 4 more places for almost basically the same amount. So you got to line shop about. I know some people don't like having multiple books. If you're looking to make profit long term, you got to line shop. If you're looking to just have fun betting sweats and just cashing the bet or not, stick with one book. Like my co-host Kenny Kim on the Fantasy Golf Degenerate said, you do you, boo. There were a lot more F-bombs involved. Go check out his spiel on betting and how many people you have on your card. He's got your back. If anyone comes after you on Twitter about having too many people on the betting card, you call Kenny Kim. He'll take care of you. Don't you worry. Kendo VT, baby, on X. All right, what an awesome human he is. So Davis Thompson, we go into him 50-1 and to win the tournament and 9-1 to finish top 10. Not top 5, top 10. Because if we take a look at his top 10 metrics, I'm a little disappointed I actually went that route. Because it seems like we could easily get he always finishes inside the top 5 when he basically finishes inside the top 10. But it's okay. We're going to take our gamble on the top 10 side of things there, see what he can do for us, and off we go. He's just got great course history. The ball striking's been sensational. The numbers very fair. I mean, our shortest bet is Max Griman for a 37-1 bet. You know, it's basically 40-1 and above for us on our betting cards, and we are going to the moon. So that's where we're going with Davis freaking Thompson to win this tournament and to finish top 10 for us at plus 900. I do believe that's where I was. No, it's a top 5. I've been lying to you guys the entire time. It's a top 5 bet. It was too good to be true. Top 5. Top 5 plus 900. It didn't make any math. That's why we went to it. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'll take a quick sip of an orange mango. And in the meantime, let's actually do a little giveaway. So, hit me with, in the chat, let me type it up. Which golfer has lost the most money in the top 20 market in this field? All right. Hit me back in the comments. Which golfer has lost the most money in the top 20 market in this field, betting to win $100 every single time they play over the last 12 months? The first person with the correct answer gets a free month membership to my Discord with all these tools, with all my bets, with all my feedback, all my research, my showdown. Every freaking thing in there is yours to be had. We're going to rock and roll. Come on, people. Hit me up in the comments. Farcanal says Bo Hostler. I'm pulling up the model right now. I don't even know who the actual guy is. Let's see who the guilty culprit is of stealing our top 20 market money. Oh, boy. It's a fun name. A popular name that has been yet to be mentioned here. It ain't no Bo Hostler from Farcanal. It ain't Ricky Fowler. It ain't Siwoo Kim. Tony Finau is Joanne. For someone that guesses as well as you do, we'll get to Tony Finau in a little bit. He's one of the best top 20 market bets that you can find. So, not Bo Hostler, not Ricky Fowler, not Siwoo Kim, not Tony Finau. There's a lot of letters in those 4 names that make up the name of this other person that you guys aren't thinking about. Think about a very popular, shortish, stockyish, very charismatic individual, potential President's Cupper. Watched him live over there. Top 20 market has been really bad for him. So I'm needing, you guys can go ahead, refire off. If no one else is coming in with comments, I'll give you guys second and third chances. We got to get this free Discord month given away. We got to get it given away. Yeah. Give it away now. Oh, there we go. Tyler knows what's up. Boom. All right. My man, on the ball. Tom Kim. The worst top 20 bet in the field. He has lost you $825 betting him top 20 to win $100 every time he tees it up. He's lost you $1,000 in the top 10 market and has just been putrid across the board. I believe he's probably the worst. Yeah, he is the least profitable golfer of anyone in this field across the board, obviously. Some other closer names that you guys were mentioning. Siwoo Kim's actually a really solid option in the top 20 market, I believe. Tony Finau as well. But some names that are at the top of this list behind Tom Kim. Brian Harman, Chris Kirk, Justin Thomas, Adam Svensson, Chris Gotterup, Chesson Hadley. Some really weird names. These guys just don't. I mean, Gotterup and Hadley have just not finished inside the top 20 ever. So too bad on them there. So some fun names to look at, yeah. You're already in the Discord. Oh, God. We're going to have to get that disqualified. We can figure out a way. To get you. Tyler, I'll let you decide who gets it. We'll have to figure out Discord members what we can give you guys. I'll figure something out. Maybe, I don't know. I'll ask the Discord. Oh, dude, don't you freaking worry. Okay. Give it away now. Who do we want to give it away to? Whoever hits me with the nicest comment in the live chat, I'll give it to. But just blow my socks off, okay? It's got to be a nice comment. In the meantime, let's get back to our bets. Let's get back to what we came here for. Let's have ourselves a good old time. I'm jumping around, and I'm going to start going back from the top again. So we're going to go to our upside rankings, and let's see how long it takes for this guy to show up. It takes him a hot minute, but we're going to go with this dude. I feel like he's been on track the last little while, but just hasn't really shown up. And JT Poston at 70-1. Got some solid course history here. We know what he can do at this venue. We know what he can do with the putter. The putter is his jam when he does feel it. 46th in the field the last little while. Not ideal, but he's 6th in the field around the greens and has gained the 12th total most strokes over the last little while. 1 at the Shriners. So if we're looking for guys that have solid wedge play, he's got a lot of good shots from 100 to 150. Strokes gain metrics not the greatest in the world, but you're getting some solid proximity numbers from him. Nothing sensational. Nothing real sensational on the approach side of things, but when it comes to his recent form, obviously won at the Shriners, finished 5th at the freaking RSM. So we've got a lot going on. We just need to figure out how he can get him into the winner's circle. His course history, 7th in 2019, 25th in 2022, 6th and 11th in the last 2 starts. So there's a lot to like from old Postman. He's doing some good things at this golf course at 70-1. And then we're going to take him for a top 5 at 9-1 as well. Plus 900. Ty's paid in full over at DraftKings, I believe. You can get that over there. We've got a nice hat. We've got a great shirt. And we've got a "You're the man, Byron." All right. Those are nice comments. I was looking for a little bit more. But the first person to tell me where Farcanal is actually inhabiting, where does he live? Where does you'd have to be a good listener of the show to know this answer. So where does Farcanal live? If you've been reading the chat as well, I guess it is in there. So first person to tell me where Farcanal lives gets the free month in the Discord, because that's just how it goes. It is not Hawaii. It is not Hawaii, Anthony, although it could be some variation of. Moving along to JT. Poston. Woo! Excuse me. We're back to business here. Let's get JT Poston on the map. Take a look at his top 5 matrix. He has been profitable in that market. $64 returned if you've bet 100 to win every single time he's played. To win 100 every single time he's played, you've returned $64. He finishes inside the top 5 at about an 18% clip. So he's one of these guys that kind of really shows up and then doesn't. I mean, for your top 20 rate to be 10% from your top 5 rate, that's insane. You basically want your top 10 rate to be double your top 5 rate. So that should be 36%. And then your top 20 rate needs to be double your top 10 rate, which should be 72%. But he's only at 28%. You know what I'm saying? So Keith Mitchell, he's a better example. Look, his top 5 rate, 7%. Top 10, 14, double. And then he just triples to get to 41% for the top 20. We'll be betting Keith Mitchell top 20, by the way. So we've got JT Poston where he's got his stuff clumped up. When he finishes top 5, when he finishes top 20, he's also basically finishing top 5. He just pops. It is not Egypt, Joanne, and it's not Australia either. Oh boy. We've got people not paying attention yet, Far Canal. I can't believe they don't know where you live. But if it isn't figured out, maybe we'll do another giveaway at the end. But you guys have got a chance now. Where does Far Canal live to win a free month in the Discord? JT Poston, top 5, 9-1. And we are going to go with him at 70-1 as well to win the tournament. Cool beans. Let's keep going. We mentioned Keith Mitchell. Let's sign him up. And guess what? We've got a Phoebe Cam sighting. Extra camera. There it is. Share. Look at this beautiful girl. Just sitting pretty. There he is. Hi, Phoebe girl. She's the best, isn't she? She sits right over my right shoulder. She's my manager, by the way. She is just the absolute best. So she's here to support Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell, if you take a look at his statisticals, he's returned you $376 in the top 20 market over the last 12 months and lost you a casual 437 in every other market. So he's a top 20 guy. As I mentioned here with his top 20 rate, you can see that's easily his best metric. He's finishing inside the top 20, only 4% less than he does top 40. So usually when he's finishing inside the top 40, it's also a top 20 bet. But when he's finishing inside the top 20, it's hardly a top 10 or top 5. So he's got that nice little soft spot right there in the teens. And he's very comfortable floating in that top 20 range. And we've made some decent cash off of Keith Mitchell betting him there. So he's plus 280. We bet him at plus 450, I believe, last week. What was his actual number at the AMEX? We bet Keith Mitchell for 425. We went to him there. So at plus 425 for a top 20, that's been slashed to plus 280 now because he finished 30th. So he almost got us home. Didn't quite get us there. But if you take a look at Keith Mitchell's safety ranking, we are rocking and rolling because he's 24th in the model there, but his edge is 21%. Plus 275 implies a bet probability of 27%. We're doing it 41% of the time. So there's a nice solid edge there for Keith Mitchell. I think he's got it for us in a big way. We're going to be going to him to win 2 units because we got a 20% edge in that market. All right. Iran, Guam, USSR, Poland. What on earth? Farkanal gave you guys a clue. My flatmate has a big hammer. It's not Norway either. It's not the UK. I'll give you guys a clue. It's not on Earth. That's the thing. Farkanal lives in a land far, far away. That's not on planet Earth. Think about Avengers and the hammer. You know what I'm saying? If you guys get what I'm saying, yeah. All right. Back to there we go. DD. Asgard. That's where Farker now lives. Finally. All right, Didi, hit me up. This Discord link in the description. Get in there with us. Get in there with Joanne, who was just rattling off every freaking place under the sun here. It was awesome. All right. So, Asgard is where Farker now lives. Keith Mitchell lives inside the top 20. We're betting him to win 2 units at plus 280. So that's where it's the place to be. We're going to Keith Mitchell in that department. Nowhere else but top 20 for Keith Mitchell at a golf course that he's played okay at in the past. So some solid metrics for old Killer Keith, who's not quite that big of a killer. He's just a top 20 beast. To our next bet. We are going to be going down the board here. Tom freaking Hoagie. What's up, Thomas? Safety ranking of 9th. Let's go there. You believe Tom Hoagie is going to finish inside the top 20. If you bet Tom Hoagie to win $100 every single time he's teed it up, you would have won yourself $521 in the top 20 market. He's been sensational in that market. He's been motivational in that market. Finishing inside the top 20 at about a 36% clip. He's actually snuck inside the top 10 a few more times, but he's not a top 5 guy. Only 4% over there in the top 5. So we've easily got the solid number at 36% there for a top 20. If we go over to our placement tool, which shows us everything that's going on, you can use this for yourself as a member of the Model Maniac Patreon. Link in the description below. DD just got himself a free membership to that. He's going to get this to himself here in the next month. So we're going to go to Tom Hoagie. He is a top 20 frequenter, 36% of the time. But a top 20 bet at plus 240 implies it's a 29% probability. We know it happens 36% of the time. We know that he's 9th in our model for top 20 rate, for safety ranking. So we got a nice solid 13% edge on Tom Hoagie's top 20 bet. Let's go. He's a freak in the sheets when it comes to top 20s. So we're going to go to him. Tom Hoagie, plus 240, top 20. Check it off your list. Let's go. Boom chakalaka. Bob's your uncle. Tom's your uncle. That's where we're going. All right. Tom Hoagie, definitely a top 20 for me. And I have top 10 too because, got good course history too. And yes, Keith Mitchell has lost his killer. Now he's just cashmere, grandma's knitted sweater Keith kind of guy. On the pulse, always got his finger on the pulse of these nicknames. I appreciate that. So Tom Hoagie, top 20, plus 240, tires paid in full for you. All right, Joanne, here's your guy, Tony Finau. If we take a look at Tony Finau, where he be now, all the way at the top of the model here, and you notice he's second in safety behind Sam Burns, 6th for upside. Now, why is that? Well. If we take a zoomer in here, and you see this column, it says top 20. If you've bet Tony Finau every tournament he's played in the last 12 months to win $100 in the top 20 market, you would have returned yourself $844. Almost $1,000 betting Tony Finau to win $100 every time he plays. So whatever the odds are, you're betting to win $100. He would have returned you $844. If you bet him in every other market, the top 5, the top 10, and to win, he's lost you probably $300. The total of $299 for the other markets. He's been negative returns in every single one of them, but the top 20, he's been a complete and utter savage. If we filter on the most profitable top 20 bets, he's the guy. He's like well ahead of Tom Hoagie by $300. Insane stuff. Look at Tony Finau's numbers over here. His top 20 rate is 68% of the time. 70% of the time he's inside the top 20. He's only inside the top 10 25% of the time, almost a third less. So Tony's market is the top 20. Top 20 Tony. You don't get that nickname for nothing, and he is indeed that man. So, I mean, look at this. The top 20 rate happens 3% less than his top 40 rate. It's basically the same simultaneous thing. If you're betting Tony Finau top 40, you're wasting your money. Just bet him top 20. When he's finishing top 40, he's also finishing top 20. I'm going to keep preaching this to you guys because this is how you make money betting placements. This is how you keep your bankroll afloat while guys like Nico Echeverria keep finishing freaking second after hitting the green in 2 and having the way negative 250 odds walking down the fairway to the green, and he loses it. Like, what on earth, bro? But we'll go to our placement tool, look at for Tony Finau, and see this sucker light up. Look at this. You can see the logic going on here. 26% edge. You can almost be betting 3 units on this thing. He's plus 105. It tells us this is happening at about 49% clip. We know it's a 68% clip for Tony Finau. Like, it's insane. It is legitimately insane stuff. So he's got some incredible top 20 potential. Go to him in that market now to win 2 units. Boom. Go to Tony Finau. Vote for Tony Finau for top 20 Mayo. All right. Back to the model. Back to more bets. We've spoken about pretty much every single person under the sun except for one Mr. Justin Lauer, who we have bet at 140 to 1 with 5 places each way over at Bet365. 5 places each way means that the odds have been chopped by a quarter. So what's that? 37.5. Is that what it gets to? To 1 for a top 5 for lower. And if he doesn't win, that's okay. You still got the top 5. Because that's what he doesn't necessarily finish inside the top 5 all that much. But when your guy gets to the mix, you want to be getting benefits from him finishing second. So that's what we're doing with him. And we're also going to be betting to win 2 units in the top 40 market with this man. If we find Mr. Lower, I'm pretty certain if we go by safety ranking versus the upside ranking, he should show up a lot. He's actually got some decent upside too. All right, but we still like the top 40 market for him. 49% top 40 rate. We don't have the numbers for a top 40 market, but he's actually been solid inside the top 5 and top 10. He's actually returned you quite an amount there. So he's either top 10 or he's top 40. He's not going to float in that top 20 range. As you can see here, every time he finishes top 10, I need to say that differently. Every time he finishes top 20, it's a top 10 as well. He has not finished inside the top 20 without finishing inside the top 10 in the last 12 months. So when he pops, he pops. Back to the placement tool. Justin Lauer. He is a bet that we would have been able to take him at a 1 unit to win in the top 10 market at 11 to 1. But we're going to go to the 2 unit market at plus 160. It's down to 150 now, which still is fine. If we change that to 150, we've still got a solid. It drops it by 2%. Interesting. So we're still going to bet the 2 units. It's okay. And we're going to do it because he finishes inside the top 40 religiously. There's a 9% edge there. He's playing some good golf now. He cashed out top 40 last week for us. Thank you so much, Mr. Lauer. We are a big fan of your services that you provide us. All right. So, yes, I've got one more guy. Kevin Yu. You, baby. 100 to 1 with an each way. We want to make sure that if he's in the mix, we get picks back. And Kevin Yu is one of these guys that just does his thing. He just does his thing. Where the hell is he over here? Let's find Kevin Yu. He's not going to be that high up on the model. Who the heck knows? 24th in upside. Love it. So often finding himself getting inside the top 10 when he does it, he'd also top 5s. So he's one of these guys. And if we take a look at Kevin Yu's course history here, his best recent finish was a win at the Sanderson Farms, by the way. Then 11th at the RSM and 16th at the Zozo. Like, this dude hasn't completely just shut down after winning. He's showing up a little bit. And guess what? We got a 3rd place finish here last year. So we're going to a golf course that's showing that's got some good course history predeterminations, given like the Adam Hadwins of the world, JT Postons, Cantleys, blah, blah, blah. All these guys play well here. Kevin Yu's got himself a 3rd place finish. And he's got 3 top 16 finishes in his last 5 starts. So there's a lot to like about Kevin Yu. His off the tee game is nuts. His ball striking's bananas. He's a really bad putter. But maybe he likes his greens. Putted well here last year, obviously, to get inside that contention. So we can see what Kevin Yu gets up to at 100 to 1 with an each way. Boom chakalaka. That's our betting card. Now we've got to get to some matchups over at Bet 105, friends. And before I tell you that, I need to get Kevin out of the way. And then we're going to do some deep dives at the end. We got Mike, my man Mike. I appreciate you, my friend. Good to see what's going on. The big F&B is the place to be, baby. I love it. Yule. It's my Asian cousin, Yule. And Far Canal saying, here it is. Oh, the Far Canal parlay from out of this world, all the way from Asgard. All right, people, listen up. So we got Far Canal saying he bets across the board here. So we got a Max Griman top 10 on the PGA, a Matteo Manassero top 20, and a Jasper Svensson top 20. Then we're going to parlay that with some DP World Tour finishing positions, with Nikolai Højgaard, with Nikolai Norgaard, Niklas Norgaard, the Højgaards, the Rasmus. So, relax. Griman, T10, Manassero, T20, Jasper Svensson, T20 on the PGA. Then we go into the DP, where we got Niklas Norgaard, top 10, Paul Waring, top 20, and then Alvis Smiley, top 20 as well. Then we're going to go to the Seniors Tour with Darren Clark for a top 10. And if you parlay all of those together, it's 35,000 to 1. So $1 can win you half a year's salary of Asgard's burger flipping service over there. They pay the fast food people well. 35,000 to 1 over there. I appreciate you, fucking hell. You over Vegas in DFS? Ooh. I would say if you're looking like Cash, I like him a lot. His upside's insane. Jonathan Vegas's upside, we can take a double look, but we'll see what happens. And Smiley Kaufman's not doing his happy hour this week? Oh, are you saying Alvis Smiley's playing DP World Tour? We'll see. All right. So, Bet 105, available in all 50 states. They have got the best matchup markets in the world. Like, legitimately in the industry, there's no better place to bet your matchups because we are getting minus 110s across the freaking board when we are there. Let's go to the tournament matchups first. And I'm just going to restart my... Oh, there we go. Minus 110 on each side of a matchup is exactly what you want. If you go look at any other sports book, it's minus 115, minus 110. So you're getting skimmed $5 off of your $100 bet every freaking time. So we don't want that. And my favorite part about it is take a look at this. If you're scrolling down here, we have got, this is tournament matchups. Look at how long I'm scrolling for. We've got a million freaking matchups going on. So I've plugged them all into my matchup tool, my Maniac matchup tool, and I've kind of highlighted a few that I really like. What it told us to do was to bet Kevin Yu versus Mac Masner. I think Mac Masner's really found a groove lately. I'm not in the mood to kind of go to him yet. I don't want to pick on him. Then it told us to go with Emiliano Grillo over Takumi Kanaya. I don't know what Grillo's been up to. He's just been very mediocre the last little while. I'm not in the mood to do that. But I am in the mood to take Sam Burns at minus 127 over Tom Kim for the tournament long matchup. Sam Burns, number one in the model. Tom Kim is where? Like clear on down the bottom. Not down the bottom, but far enough away from Sam Burns to have it being a difference maker. So if we take what we're looking for in the matchups is also safety. It uses a top 20 percentage and a made cut percentage because if you're just making cuts and the other guy isn't, you can cash these matchups on Saturday morning, Friday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you want to be going. And if we're scrolling down to Tom Kim, the upside's there. He pops every now and then, but look at how bad his safety ranking goes down. So he's been struggling to keep it inside the top 20 as much as Sam Burns. Sam Burns is doing it basically double the amount of time. So I really fancy Sam Burns' chances this week against Tom Kim. So we're going to be going to him over there. Tom Kim, and we can also, the best part about this is we might even just be doing, we'll just take the plus money. So you can click on that little button and then you give Sam Burns, has to beat Tom Kim by 2 strokes, but then you're getting plus 104 versus minus 130. So this is where we're going to be going over here. We're going to be betting our 30 smackaroos over there. And we're going to place our bet for Sam Burns to beat Tom Kim by 2 strokes over the duration of the tournament. Boom chakalaka. All right, so then we're going to go back to our matchup central over here. I had a few more that we were going to go through, and then we're going to deep dive some of y'all's people. So another name was Tony Finau over Wyndham Clark. I've bet both of these guys. I understand why we're going with Tony because of that top 20 percentage and Wyndham Clark not necessarily being inside the top 20 as much. But I don't want to be betting against my dude. You know what I'm saying? If you don't bet the Wyndham Clark top 10 like I did, bet Tony Finau versus Wyndham Clark, because Wyndham Clark's safety consistency isn't nearly there. It's the upside we're banking on. So we're just hoping Wyndham blows up or doesn't. You know, we need him to finish top 10 for us. But usually when he doesn't do top 10s, he's blowing up. So we don't mind that, but if you're in the mood, go to it. Some other bets that they also suggested, yeah, Patrick Cantley over Tom Kim. We've already bet the Sam Burns over Tom Kim. Let's take a look and see what that does if we take the handicap for Cantley over Kim. Look at the scrolling. I mean, look at how much we have to scroll. Look at how much we have to freaking scroll. So we're going to go down here. Patrick Cantley to beat Tom Kim by 2 strokes is even money. So you can bet that as well, but I like that we've bet Sam Burns over Tom Kim. We'll just go with that instead. Then we're going to be going back over here, tournament matchups. And we got some, I think we have, next up is round 1 matchups. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at some round 1 matchups that's going on over at Bet105. By the way, they also have football. And if you check out the football odds, they're as delightful as you'd imagine. They're like minus 105, basically. Take a look here. We've got Baltimore versus Buffalo, minus 108, minus 104, either side of the spread. I mean, if you're looking to make long-term profits, that's exactly what you want. These kind of markets. I mean, look at these delightful lines. They're going to be the best you can find. So available in all 50 states. Go check them out. Link is not in the description below. I forgot to put that there. But if you sign up, let them know that Back9Bet sent you. All right. Back to our round 1 matchups. We've got some matchups. We got a scratch ups here. All right. And we've got all sorts of futures. We've got all the different tours rocking and rolling. It's a good place to be. And we're only going to be getting better and better over there with some fun stuff coming soon. All right. So what did it tell us to bet in round 1? Max Griman over Nick Dunlap. I feel like it seems Dunlap going back to the place he won might get off to a bit of a slow start. What am I doing on that? Max Griman over Dunlap. We're getting minus 130 for the grease trap. And we've got a decent edge. You know, anytime you're getting the value in the hundreds, that's typically when I'm going to go to it. So we are going to be going to it here. And we're going to be betting to win our $30 back with 39 backaroos. Over there. Cool. I'm in. Max Griman's been playing some great golf. Nick Dunlap has been very here and there. Now going back to the place he's won at, we'll see. Also, what I wanted to make sure was these guys were all playing on the same. Griman and Dunlap. Round 1 showdown. Let's look. Look at these tools you got over at Back9Bet, your friends, at the Model Maniac Patreon. Link in the description. So we got Dunlap. Okay. And then we're going to take a look at Griman. Are they playing? They are. Okay. So they are playing the same course. That's good to know. Because if you got a guy playing if there was a matchup that's got like a stadium course guy versus a La Quinta guy, you smash the La Quinta dude like any day of the week. We'll get to some matchups, showdown stuff here in a bit. Moving along. Where are we going back to the matchup tool? So we got the Griman matchup. I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Yu over Adam Schenk. You know, Kevin Yu's like an upside guy. I like it. Schenk seems to have found some groove last week. Tony Finau over Davis Thompson. We've already bet both of them. Don't feel like betting that. Harry Hall versus Brian Harman. Harry Hall in the first round of a tournament is an absolute yes. So we're getting minus 110 over the H-Man. the short hitting. Oh, we got minus 120. Okay. That's okay. 36, I believe if we change that to minus 120, it still gives us a solid edge. I just do minus 110 across the board because if there's a big enough value, then you can see it, then you change the odds. I'm just not going to type in the odds for every single one of these things. It's quite... Bet 105 has got so many goddamn matchups, it takes me forever to type all these things in there. Self-brag there. Okay. But Harry Hall, solid value over Harman, particularly in round 1. Harry, we know, Dirty Harry and the boys can really get it going. So we're going to go 36 smackaroos there to win our 30 back. Harry Hall versus Brian Harman in round 1. Moving on down, we got Mackenzie Hughes versus Alex Smalley. We got to go with our boy Mackenzie in round 1. What have they been up to? Let's take a look at their round 1 metrics here. So this is how you can use this tool. You use the model, and you can use the placement tool to kind of figure out exactly what's going on at the same time. The matchup tool, the placement tool, all of that jazz. So we've got Mackenzie obviously well ahead of Smalley, but let's see if it's pulling in the round 1 metrics a little better. So Smalley gets off to some really slow starts, it seems. He's 160th in this freaking field in like round 1 strokes gained. So he struggles to get off to some good starts. That's why the model's a big fan of him, despite Mackenzie being a much better overall prospect as well. So we like that a lot. Mackenzie Hughes over Alex Smalley. Let's go find that bet over here at bet 105 and hit it with the big hammer. Plus 105 for Mackenzie Hughes. Beautiful. Let's just lay our 30 and call it a day over there. Moving along to our next suggested bet, JT Poston over Mac Masner. Let's take a look here. Let's just go to the showdown tab here and use that one instead. I'll also filter, because I love you guys, we'll filter on this so you can see what's going on with the goodies at the top. In the meantime, I'm going to go Masner, Macaru, and we're going to go Poston, right? So you can see they're both playing on the Nicholas tournament course. Round 1 strokes gained, not the greatest for either of them, just about gaining 2/3 of a stroke on average in round 1. But JT Poston really thrived on this Nicholas tournament course. So he grades out a lot better on that venue and in general at this golf course. I can't see that big of a difference between the two of them given their round 1 strokes gained. So I'm going to leave that one alone. You don't have to bet every single bet in the world. You don't have to do that. Again, here's a Justin Thomas over Wyndham Clark. I totally understand why JT typically gets off to much faster starts than Wyndham in a massive way. But, I mean, if we take a look at the model, we're going to have Wyndham very close to JT, so it's just all got to do with round 1. You know, Justin Thomas is 6th, Wyndham Clark's 12th. So if we take a look at these two guys, I'm assuming Justin Thomas is round 1 stuff. 12th in the field in round 1 strokes gained average. Wyndham Clark is 145th. So you hardly want to ever put Wyndham as your like first round bet, but Justin Thomas easily kind of loses the plot in the middle of tournaments and then kind of comes shooting up the board in round 4. So JT in round 1, JT in round 4. Wyndham Clark pretty much any round outside of round 1. Look at how much he warms up. It's like a big old Cadillac. Just takes some time to get going. So that would be a bet that I would place. If you don't bet the Wyndham Clark top 10, bet the Justin Thomas against Wyndham Clark matchup, because it seems like they are two different types of golfers in round 1. What is that bet? Do we just want to bet it as well? It's minus 145. That changes things up a little bit. Maybe we don't bet it then. 95. Yeah, it's a lot to lay. We're going to leave that one alone. And then Lee Hodges and Jonathan Vegas. Jonathan Vegas in round 1 is typically pretty smart, pretty savvy. Let's go to our showdown here as we pulling that up in a little bit, and pull up Vegas. We haven't cleared everything. Let's pull up these two guys, Vegas and Hodges. What are their round one metrics like? So Hodges is a little less than Johnny V in round one by about half a stroke. And then the course history's got another half a stroke on them. So Jonathan Vegas definitely a better option than him. And what are we getting in the market over there for these two? Minus 105 for Jonathan Vegas. Okay. Should we pull the trigger on that one? Let's take a look at the matchup here. Minus 105. And it gets us to 97. And then this is minus 115. All right, let's do it. Let's do Jonathan Vegas versus Lee Hodges in round one. 31.50 to 130. Place that bet, baby. So we are in the mix. We've got ourselves a couple first rounders. We've got ourselves a couple, some tournament long matchups over at Bet 105, available in all 50 states. Please, if you go over to them, let them know that I sent you, since I completely forgot to put the link in the description below. Moving along, let's go to round one showdown, which is going to be where I distribute the majority of my funding this week. If you're not doing this and using this kind of information to benefit yourselves, don't be playing guys that are playing on the stadium course. The strokes gained is ridiculous there. Let me pull up, where the heck did I have it? It's in this thing. Yeah. Let's see. This helps. Okay. So this is my little thing I did, looking at strokes and scores at these golf courses. So we notice here, oh my God, we notice that at this venue, we've got the three different courses. I looked up, okay, how many times has a 60 been shot on these different courses? How many times 61, 62? You can see 62s or better have happened at least 1% of the time on each course. At the stadium course, not. So La Quinta and the Nicklaus course, you can tell by just looking at this chart that they provide the more upside type rounds for sure. And just looking at like the overall, like scores are 4 under or better. The stadium course is constantly worse. Sometimes there's some weird trends going on, but overall, it's always less than the others, in general. About by almost half-ish the amounts, 50% to 100% worse. So on average, there's a 13% difference between the amount of 68 shot at the stadium versus the Nicklaus and La Quinta venues, which are a lot easier. So you'll be seeing that go on over there. And then I will just give you guys, actually, I don't have the Discord pulled up right now, but I dropped in the Discord the different ownership and things like that you'll see at this golf course when it happens. So I'll give you a quick sneak peek. Do I have here? All right, so this was last year. And if you take a look at what happened, here is round one's ownership. And take a look at all these La Quinta names. So you're going to be getting so many La Quinta names in this round one, because all the stars start on La Quinta, and that's where they start. And it's the easiest golf course of the two, or of the three that people think. But at the same time, there's actually where did I put this? Because I had the points as well, but that's all in the Discord. I have those screenshots in there too. So the points distributions aren't as La Quinta E as you would imagine. Just taking a look at this screen over here, you can tell you got La Quinta and the Nicklaus that are very similar in the amounts of good scores they give up. So going to either one, especially when all that ownership is going to be on the La Quinta guys, the Nicklaus tournament course is not the worst option to go to, if I do say so myself. So that being said, some round one showdown options. Where the hell is that tab at? Look at this tool. You get this and you got a million tabs that you got to navigate to. There's so much goddamn information for you guys. So looking at round one, I just basically made my own round one showdown, like a basic ass model using the venue that they will be playing. This course history comes legitimately straight from La Quinta, the Nicholas Tournament, or Stadium course. So we're using very small sample sizes, but this is like the minutia of this event. Why not be a little different, find some edges here and there? Patrick Cantley is La Quinta king. Apparently he gains like 1.8 strokes at that golf course on repeat. He's played there a lot, but he's $9,800. Still a solid option playing on La Quinta. But again, if we just do the salary thing here and we sort by largest to smallest, look at how many La Quinta guys are playing in the first 16, 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 13 of the top 17 priced golfers will be playing at La Quinta. So like, if you go into the Nicholas Tournament course for round one, you're going to have to find other options that aren't like the best names in the field. Cameron Young, Harry Hall, Brian Harmon, apparently. So Tom Hoagie. You got to get a little different and find these names, but all of the big boys are going off La Quinta. That's what they do. So that on Saturday, they're playing the stadium course where all the cameras are because the PGA Tour is broke as crap and can't afford cameras on 3 different courses. Anyway, so let's get back to our course-adjusted rankings over here. Or we can just go by value if you want. So Kevin Kisner is one of the worst values on the board. If we go by dollar per power ranking, we've got Cristobal del Solar. Never played here before, but he has played on the Corn Ferry Tour. I believe he shot that 57 or 58 a while back. If we go and take a look at the rookie rundown and filter on round one scores, there he should be. Where is this Del Solar guy? There he is. I mean, look at this. Look at this like he's gaining almost 3 strokes in round one and losing strokes in every other round. So, I mean, this guy gets out bolting, completely flying out the gates, hot to trot, and then just fizzles out. So he's an absolute first round leader candidate for sure. Let's go look here for first round leaders at the American Express because he's got to be part of it. The first round leader market is a complete disaster here, though. Like, where are we going to find it? It's just go look for your first round leader wherever you can find these books. I mean, Cristobal del Solar is like the ultimate round one guy. So he's cheap. Let's move this over to where we can constantly refer back to this because we're going to be starting to do some deep dives now at the end of the show. So round one showdown, Cristobal del Solar, obvious go-to. If you're taking a look at Zach Johnson at $6,800, he also played quite nicely at La Quinta. I mean, we got a solid course history rating. Zach Johnson was at the top of the board in Hawaii and then fumbles his way down the board over the weekend. So he's at La Quinta. He's an underrated option on the easier course. But again, look at this Nicholas Tournament course. We've got some really solid options in this range. Frankie Cappan, solid in round one. Absolutely going to him over there. If we're taking a look at Michael Thorbjornsson, if he's healthy, he's playing La Quinta, but he's $7,100. We've got a couple Corn Ferry Tour guys, Brian Campbell and Ryan Gerard, playing the Nicholas Tournament course. Some really solid round one metrics. JT Poston, $7,900, going off the Nicholas Tournament courses. Henrik Norlander in round one, typically very solid. Chandler Phillips in round one as well, and he's got some good course history. And the only person I think I might play on the stadium course is Cameron Davis. So it's just like he's insanely good on the stadium course, is Cam Davis. And it's a course that's going to hit him with hardly any ownership. You know, if we take a look at what was going on with the ownership earlier in my screenshots there, the stadium course is hardly ever getting any ownership on any other players because it's more difficult. But if you're looking for like an absolute crazy leverage play, $7,600 Cam Davis over there, just sprinkle him in a few. You know, I don't know if I'll be going to Will Chandler on the stadium course or Andrew Putnam or Harris English. Granted, Andrew Putnam's also got some solid course history there. But so this is round one showdown. In round two, we're going to have a different discussion. It's going to change up the round two strokes gained. It's going to change up what courses they're playing on, and it changes the whole dynamic. We're going to bring in there's going to be zero ball striking for 2/3 of the field. Not going to have any strokes gained metrics. So, but this is dirty, get down in the freaking dirt season over here out in La Quinta. 3 course rotation, 3 rounds before the cut. Let's see what happens. Rattle off some nice names. Noah Goodwin, apparently a solid option in round one at $6,200 playing La Quinta. Quade Cummings, another Corn Ferry Tour guy. Solid round one metrics. So, yeah. What were we saying over here? Yeah, Cristobal Del Solar. Round one was the same. Yeah, I mean, this guy is just a freaking cook. Off like a cat with petrol on his butt. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, my brother. And then it just burns out. So that's what's going on with these guys in round one showdown. I've given you a nice couple Nicholas tournament courses and some La Quinta pivots. I think Cantley and the boys are all going to be quite popular going off of there. So trying to find some variations of that situation is the way to go. Thornberry. Let's pull up Thornberry here. All right. I'm taking deep dive requests. Let's pull up. Do we even have from how long ago? Yeah. How far do I have to scroll back? Yeah, what's this? Brandon Thornberry. So solid option. Hits a lot of fairways and greens. The way he goes, pretty solid scrambling from the grass. Not the best from the sand. His putting average is 1.7. I think a typical putting average you're looking to have like 1.6-ish is what the majority of these guys have. He's 34th in here. So like a putting average, I mean, Rikuyu Hoshino is real elite in that department at 1.6. So anything, I mean, he's solid in that department too, makes a lot of birdies, scores well on the par fours and okay on the par fives. Nothing too crazy. Could be a better par five scorer. Some other guys like Chris Ventura eats up the par fives. Alistair Doherty also eats up the par five. So those are some names that you're probably wanting to look at this kind of a golf course. Kevin Roy, my man, who we bet the top 20 on live last week, is a par five demolisher where you have to dominate these par fives. So I think that's what you're looking for over here. And we bet him after round 2 because take a look at these round 3 metrics. He's so good in round 3 is Kevin Roy. Completely got off the board of Brandon Thornberry. I think he's just solid. You know, there's nothing too crazy going on with him. We can take a look here and see what he's like been up to. Braden Thornberry. So he won the Corn Ferry Tour Championships, finished 4th at the Boise Albertson. So he's got some high-end finishes recently. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be overly excited about him. He's just a solid guy. If you want to bet him at 500 to 1 for an each way, why not? You know, that's a ridiculous number. So, I mean, if you're cutting that by 5, you're getting 100 to 1 top 5. Let's go. Nothing against that, given his propensity to frequent the top of the leaderboard lately. Mr. Cut in the Sony, but maybe he gets it together for us this week. Some other names that we needed to mention. Paul, that guy. Let's see if we can pull him up in the rookie rundown here. Let's just go by strokes gained total and see how soon he shows up. What was his name? Paul Peterson. Oh, boy. Where is he? Paul Peterson. There we go. So solid across the board, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Very accurate driver. Doesn't have the best distance off the tee. That's why he played nicely at Sony. Very solid when it comes to scrambling, especially out of the grass. Avoids bogeys like the plague and dominates the par threes. I don't know if this might not be the venue for him. Given the fact that I'm probably looking for a bit more green in regulations, a bit more distance off the tee, but more par 5 dominance, this par 5 average of 4.61 is not ideal. You want to be as close to 4.5 as possible, because if you're not birdieing the par 5s, you're falling well behind at this venue. You're going to be making so many birdies. I don't know if he makes enough birdies at a golf course like this. So my Paul Peterson take is no. Where was that? Let's chat about Jesper Svensson. He shows up, I believe. Was he a Korn Ferry guy or was he a DP World Tour guy? Let's pull up Jesper. All right. So this is the rookie rundown. You can grab this this is available to you in my Patreon and my Discord, link in the description below. Jesper is a solid option all the way up until round 4. So I think you can probably be playing this guy in Showdown in particular. Seems to struggle a little bit on Sundays. So he's a DP World Tour guy because we don't have the good drive percentages. And we've also going to have strokes gained for him too somewhere else. But sand saves are his thing. He's a normal scrambler. He's a solid putter. Solid putter. So maybe at this kind of a golf course, that's what you're looking for. I don't mind that at all. Struggles with the accuracy. He's got tons of distance. So this is a kind of venue that kind of suits him. Look at the par 5 scoring, closer to 4.5. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Where is he in my model? Let's pull up Jesper here. Jesper here. Yeah, upside. Look at that upside. 35th in my model. For upside, he's $7,300. These are obviously DP World Tour finishes as well because he didn't play on the PGA Tour. 51 total events used to calculate this in the last 12 months. Obviously, it's not 51 events, but it's weighted. So it uses the last 12, last 6, last 4 to kind of get a nice graduated percentage over there. And he's solid. I think finishing inside the top 10 in 1 in every 4 starts is perfect for a $7,300 golfer that really suits this kind of venue. We've got that solid distance. He's been gaining tons of strokes off the tee. It's good to see. So I like Jesper. Let's go to our sheet here. So we've got Thornberry. I don't mind. I think solid yellow. This Paul Peterson is a orange for me. I'm not going to necessarily go to him as much as my man wanted to. Jesper is going to be green light. I'm a fan. Big fan of him. And I'm likely a fan of Schmitty as well. Matthias Schmidt. So let's pull up Matthias Schmidt here and see what Schmidt's been up to. He is not a Korn Ferry Tour grad. He played on the tour last year. So he will be in the model with recent metrics as well. Top 20ing and about every 3 of 10 that he plays in, off the tee and balls and putting. I mean, I kind of like that as a combination here. What does he get up to on the par 5s? He typically struggles on Saturdays in a big way. Par 5 scoring is 33rd in the field. Makes tons of birdies recently. So we got a lot to like there in his recent rounds. We got off to some really good golf in the fall swing for sure. And finished 6th here in 2023. So there's a lot to like about here. Schmidt. I had Svensson on there, but I think Schmidt is a serious option. Here we go. So on the pulse, I'm out on Peterson. I'm in on Schmitty. By the way, New Girl, great show. Schmidt is my favorite. One of my favorite characters. So we like Schmidt. Yes. We give a Schmidt. Lanto. Let's take a look. I don't even know. Have I even had him entered in here yet? He is. Good. Good, Byron. Lanto Griffin. So he's finished third year in 2022 and top 40 last year. He has not necessarily, he's been making cuts and getting through, but his upside's been kind of lacking. A 30th place at the Shriners. You know, can't say I'm like overly thrilled about his prospect, but he came in late into the field, I believe. So you're getting that from him, but you're getting a small edge on the DraftKings price, nothing too crazy. I think that's more of like a yellowy grade I would give him. More than Paul Peterson, but I prefer Schmidt and Jesper instead. And then we can pull up Matteo Manacero, who my man is a big fan of. And I don't know. I think last week would have been the week for him at the Sony because he's also one of these plotters around golf courses versus kind of really getting going with the distance. I mean, he's 290 yards in that department. So he's always losing strokes off the tee, but he's gaining on approach. He's a really good iron player and he's a very good putter. So maybe this is the week to kind of deal in the putting situation there, but it seems like we're getting some solid iron play and good putting. So you're going to get that from him. Is that strokes gained putting? He's putting average. I believe that might be the case. So I'm going to have to investigate that. I always find something random going on here. But we are looking at a Matteo Manacero who's, once you get off the tee, we are looking good. So I will give him, I kind of fancy his chances. I mean, what has he been up to the last little while? Matteo. Jesus. All right. So lately, the last 25 starts, been off to a bit of a slow end to the year. Showing up for his first tournament at the AMEX. Didn't even feel like going to Hawaii. But when he putts well, you're going to get good performances from him. So the iron play was really solid, and then it kind of fell off towards the end of the year. Yeah, I'll give him a solid, like, probably a yellow, maybe green. I feel like that's probably the color I'd give him. But I'm a big fan of Jesper and Schmidt, for sure. So those are guys there. Okay, let me take a look at what these comments have been on about here. Harry Hall at the Nicholas tournament. Yes. Okay, I'm a little far back here. DP World Tour class golfer Schmidt just needs to smile more. Yes. And these courses are perfect for him. They really are. All right. Righty. Cool. So I'm going to just stick around and I'm going to record this part for myself because I want to show people how to use this model and what you can use it for. For the most part, you can get it just watching the show. You'll know how to use this thing. But I want to just show off a few other things that's going on here. So over here, we've got DFS points going on. And it's got the last 3 months of DFS points. It's got the last 12 months. And then it's got the average points that scored at this event. And it's weighted down so that, you don't have guys going super crazy with the points if they haven't played you enough. Justin Thomas has good, course history, yeah, obviously. Gains a lot of points. So you can see at the event how many points they make. And also what you're looking for is, I guess these aren't weighted all the way down. It's just using the raw stuff. But if you're looking for points by dollar to try and find value. So Matteo Manacero, obviously, doesn't have any points going on here. So we're going to have to figure that out. But if you go A to Z, who's the cheapest option? Paul Peterson. There you go. But again, is the course fit there for him? Who knows? Rio Hitsatsuni has been typically, I did not pull up Vegas. Good reminder. Let me do that. Johnny Vegas. All righty. So we're going to look here. Oh, boy. What did we do betting this guy here? I mean, he's been playing well at the zone. I mean, we're starting to see some serious improvement, but what on earth? Just missed 3 straight cuts the last couple years, and nothing better than a 55th at this golf course. I thought he was a solid round 1 scorer. He's kind of average, but he's a par 5 freak. So we like that a lot. What's he been up to? Why is he like not been getting that together? Solid with the mid irons, not necessarily the best with the wedges compared to the rest of his game. The further out you go, tends to hit better shots. Excuse me. Tons of distance. Ball striking beast. The putting is somewhere to be desired. We each rate him at the Century, so he plays some solid golf recently. I don't mind him. I mean, he's probably going to be very under-owned, given his course history here. So, sure, why the hell not? I mean, he's right up here. Yeah, and if you're looking for like a showdown option, like Farkanel mentions, one of the best round 4 scorers, I don't know. The numbers say otherwise. He's 130th in the model for round 4. I've seen him fall backwards a lot on the leaderboards, quite often. So, tough scenes. But Jonathan Vegas, don't mind him. He's right up there when it comes to dollars per point. So top 30, close to. Yeah, I've kind of just run out of juice. I don't even feel like recording this pod anymore. You got your DFS points. I'm bored. I'm checked out. I'll record this some other time. I know. But this is the fun part, Sites. Is like, is there a more complicated event? No. Outside of Pebble, which they don't even do the 3 courses anymore. I know. But this is why I've always wanted to lean into DFS a little bit more when it comes to these kind of things, because it's you versus the field versus really like you versus the book, the sports book. You know, I prefer to go against you guys or the other people. But I feel like in Showdown this week, that's where the money's going to be for me, baby, because we've got these 3 different courses. We've got all these different metrics, these course histories, the round by round scorings. And yes, I mean, it's all these triple digit winners, unless your name's John Rahm. So it's going to be an interesting week. I'm looking forward to it. But that's going to be me. An hour and a half is long enough. Maybe we can find some more TGL. I appreciate you guys. You guys did not have to hang out with me. You did. So we are thankful. We are very thankful for every single one of you, me and Phoebe. Hey, Phoebe girl. She's hanging out. Have a great week, people. Go check out Sweet Spot DFS. He'll be doing his thing shortly after this. That's not a paid program. He just sent me a free shirt, so I figured I'd wear it. He's my good buddy as well. I'll be hanging out in the chats there. Check out my Patreon. You know, all the stuff you've seen here. If you aren't, I'm seeing a lot of you guys that are in my Discord, so I appreciate you guys for your support. We'll figure out a nice way to benefit you guys for participating in the show as well in the future. But it's just been fun putting this stuff together. And the sad thing is on the Pulse is that it's just 2 balls this week. So we're going to have to figure out maybe some first round leaders or something for some fun sweats. I'm not going to parlay like 6 matchups. Maybe we do. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's tough to do that. Check out the Patreon in the link below. Hit the like button, please. I appreciate you if you do that. And then we'll catch you guys on Sunday for the research stream on Back 9 Bets. Not Mayo Media, Back 9 Bets channel. Doing the Sunday night research stream. Will be there. Good luck this week. I'll chat to y'all in the Discord. And we're going to have ourselves a phenomenal time out in La Quinta, California. Till then, see you soon. Peace.